We've had some nurses come to me and say, how do I know if I'm qualified to be a legal nurse consultant? I had the same question when I started. How do I know that I'm making the right decision? How do I know this is for me? How do I know that my specialty is desired? If you've ever asked, am I qualified for this? I used to think the same thing. I think all of us have those questions and it's appropriate. I just want to get to the bottom of it so I can give you guys clarity. The doubt, right? Like the whole questioning part of it, that's kind of a nurse thing, right? The doubt typically comes in when we're afraid to do something, but as a nurse, typically it's because we're afraid we're going to do something that hurts someone. And clinically, we feel like sometimes we're not enough. I had a nurse, she asked me once, she said, I feel ready. I've said yes to myself. But how do I know I'm ready? And I was like, well, if you feel ready and you said yes, you're the only one who determines whether or not you're ready to do this. I mean, we report to doctors and medical systems and managers, right? Like we gather information and insight, but we always have to report to someone else and get the quote unquote approval. You know what I mean? So I think it's hard sometimes for us to make that call and say, no, I am enough. No, I do have it. Here's kind of the credential list, right? If I could give you a rundown, what does it look like? Key number one is, are you qualified? And it's not just about experience. Your experience is valuable, super valuable. Attorneys love nursing experience. So that's the biggest thing, is that you are qualified. If you're a nurse and you've been a nurse, I say for a minimum of 3 years, so 3 to 5 years is a great place to start, then you're qualified to be a legal nurse consultant. If you are a nurse for less than 2 years or less than 3 years and have any other medical background and experience, don't discount that. I was a CNA for like 6 years before I was a nurse, but that's still medical experience, right? I still had patients. I still witnessed nurses and doctors doing other things. I still understood policies and protocols in the hospital, right? So if you're an LPN, don't discount that. Like contribute that experience towards your knowledge base, because that knowledge base is yours. Critical care experience is not always necessary, right? Some nurses think I have to have ED experience, emergency department, or critical care. No. You don't have to just be orthopedic or ICU. You have knowledge and experience that allows you to do a lot of case types. So I want you to understand that, as well as if you're orthopedic or med surg or ER, you don't just have to take those types of cases. You can do a multitude of case types as long as you're comfortable with it. So I just want you to keep an open mind in the case types and realize that you can probably do more than you think you can do, because this goes back to how we're trained in the hospital. As nurses, we're told to mind our lane, right? You're a med surg nurse, you go do this, right? Here on the orthopedic floor, this is what we do. We only do this. But you've been taught and learned so much more. Don't discount your knowledge. Certifications are optional. They're not required in legal nurse consulting. I had lots of certifications as a nurse. I was a WOCN. I was a critical care nurse. I was a burn certified critical care nurse. I had all of those. And it didn't really matter on a lot of the cases that I took, because attorneys want nurses with experience. They're not looking for a nurse who is certified as a legal nurse consultant. They're looking for a nurse like you who has background and experience, because they don't need you to understand law. They went to law school. They need your medical experience. That's what they want, which is acquired in the hospital, not under a legal nursing certification. No legal nursing certifications are required. It's all a marketing spoof, because nurses seem to think they need certifications. So what do? They market it to you because it sounds appealing, right? It's not required. It's not mandated. It's not even necessary. Attorneys don't ask for it at all. Your nursing certifications, those can be advantageous when you're positioning as yourself as an expert to a judge. It builds credibility. So keep those. If you have them, great. If you don't, does that mean you can't be an expert? No, it does not. I have pretty much let go of every certification that I ever had. I never renewed any of them because I didn't care and I didn't need to and I didn't have to. It didn't benefit me. So it's your choice. It truly is. Can I possibly have enough experience to interpret medical records? You do it every day. You look and screen and read through medical records and you decipher the lingo. You put the story together. If you can put the story together for yourself so that you can treat and care for someone, you can definitely do it for an attorney. Because now with an attorney, when you put the story together and analyze records to care for your patient, you're implementing care. Wouldn't you hold yourself to a higher level of expertise or a need for expertise to do that than someone who is just reviewing the act or care that's already occurred? So if you can do it for a living person, a person who is dependent on your care, you can do it for medical records. Medical records are not that you're not practicing nursing, you're reviewing what has already been practiced and already been done. So if you are one of those nurses, just like me, who goes through, and I mean, you all are, you understand the medical jargon, you can decipher the doctor's notes and the lingo, you can put the puzzle pieces together. You can, in a matter of 10 minutes, bounce through, I don't know how many pages in a medical record, right? Bounce around to how many screens and put together key elements so that you don't need all the pieces to the puzzle. You just need certain pieces. And now you've put the story together. And that's the same process, the same concept when you're reviewing records for an attorney. You don't need all the pieces. You just need the right pieces to be able to tell the story so that they can win their case. I call it nurse logic, because that's what it is. It's just nursing logic. It's logic to us. And that's exactly what they need. Another big thing to qualify yourself as a legal nurse, you have to be willing. And what I mean by that is you have to be willing to trust yourself, to say yes to yourself, and to go get the work. You have to be willing to say, I'm going to do this, because some nurses' cases fall in their lap. Most legal nurses have to go get their cases. They have to go make those connections and build a network for themselves. There are ways to do it. There are processes around it. So it sounds intimidating, but it's not anymore, because there's nurses like myself who've done it. We have the blueprint. We have what works well. We have what's worked. We have what is still working. So I can only speak for myself when I say that. But if you're willing and you have a desire, and this is your bridge to getting out of the hospital, getting out of the burnout, getting away from punching the time clock and working 12-hour shifts, you just have to be willing to show up. Because just like you're a nurse, you're willing to show up and do the job, right? So if you can be willing to show up and do this for yourself, it works. It works with consistency. You can do this without a website, without a logo. Okay. I want to clear this up. Some nurses say, but I can't start a business because I don't have my LLC. I don't have a website. I don't have a business logo. I started my LLC. I started working in legal nursing without any of that. I promise you, websites are great, but that's not how you get business. I don't even know when the last time I have looked at my website was. Truly, it's probably been, I'm not even kidding you when I say at least a year. Because your website doesn't get you business. You don't put a website up and attorneys fall from the sky. In fact, if you don't scrape your website and use SEO, no one will ever find it. So if those words are gibberish to you, welcome to my world, right? A website helps to go on a business card. It helps when you can put it on your LinkedIn profile. It helps when you can connect people to it with intention, but I would not stress over it. It's not one of the first steps. And a logo, you don't need a logo. All that stuff can be built in. In fact, it's really powerful if you don't start out with that stuff, so that when you start your business, and I'm Rosa, I'm a legal nurse consultant, and she's positioning herself in the market, and then gets to announce to everyone who's following her, we finally branded. Here's our company, our company name. Like it's like free publicity. It's like a free thing to talk about. And it's like, here's our new logo, right? When you get those brands that are like new look, same great tastes, you get to do that. Here's my logo. And then people interact with it, like it, cool, amazing. And then they're checking your profile out. So it's actually really powerful to do those things as you're growing, because it brings more brand awareness and it gives you an excuse to share with people. The easiest way to connect with attorneys is through social media. Like how easily you can qualify as a legal nurse. It's not the legal aspect, and it's not understanding what a legal nurse needs to do. There is a scope. Your input is valued. And like, I've always felt you're just a nurse. But it came with know all, be all, do all, anticipate doctor's orders, anticipate a plan of care, anticipate everyone's needs, but your own, but mind your lane. Because you're just a nurse. And in the world of legal nurse consulting, attorneys are like, no, but you are the nurse, so tell me what to do. Do you see the difference? Like, it's so empowering. You are the nurse, right? And it's like, oh my God, okay, well, this is what I would do. Like, we need an expert. We need a pathologist on this case to tell us what this means, because if he testifies to this, this is what we need. This is the proof. It's really, I can't find another word other than empowering, because all the years I thought I was just a nurse, I've realized being just a nurse was like everything I needed to be a legal nurse, and to have the confidence to be a legal nurse too. It clicked for me when I realized that being just a nurse is exactly what the attorney wanted me to do, was be the nurse. All the policies that were pushed on me that I had to remember, all of the processes, understanding, being a nutritionist and a physical therapist and an occupational therapist, listening to family, communicating with patients and family, interdepartment communication, being a secretary on nights that we didn't have one, just, all the things and in between. I mean, I can remember all the days where I was like, I swear this is not my job, but I'd have to do it anyways. Well, guess what? That gave me so much knowledge, and all that knowledge is insight for you when you're reviewing records, where you get to be like, wait a second, there are not 150 rooms in any ED. Where's this room? I need to ask that question, because an attorney's not going to know to think that, but you're triggered by a room number where you're like, there are not 177 bays in an ER. Where is room 2177? Because that doesn't make sense. Or the patient's blood sugar dropped, and I see that they gave this patient insulin 3 times, but it's never documented that they ate, and there is no record of fluids being given. An attorney's not going to notice stuff like that, and you are, because your mind is already trained to think like that, right? Because we look through patient charts right now, and that's what we're thinking. They're getting insulin. Where's the INOs, right? That we're already programmed to look for the things that attorneys don't know to look for, and that's what they value. That's what they love, because you already know how to do it. It's just about getting you connected with the attorneys so they get it, right? And they're like, okay, that makes sense. Legal nurse consulting is such an underserved industry. We all know that there are clinics and private practices popping up that need legal nurses to support them as well. And so the opportunity is actually growing and expanding, because it's not just about lawsuits against hospitals, right? It's also about records being compliant. It's also about not getting hit by Joint Commission or CMS, right? So there are so many more opportunities right now for legal nurses that's growing into private practices. We haven't even broached that yet. Like, we're on the cusp of it. It's not even a fad yet. Does that make sense? It's so new. So if anything, the need for legal nurse consultants is just going to grow because of where the health industry is moving over the next 10 years. We had a nurse yesterday on our group call talk about it. She said, I can't believe it. You were right, Stephanie. I called an attorney off a billboard and he had never heard of the term legal nurse consultant. And I was like, it really is a thing. It really is. I'm not making it up. The field is nowhere near flooded. It's still so underserved. And there's still such a need for nurses and those in the medical industry to support attorneys. We're just nowhere near that cap. Nowhere near it. So I hope I was able to clear some things up for you guys today, inspire you.
Want full access to expert-led trainings, networking opportunities, and resources you won't find anywhere else? The NLNCN is the only national network built for nurses by nurses. Join today and get up to 2 months free. Click the link below to start exploring.